footsteps of my local hero, Ivan Green, that some of you, most of you probably remember. Like him, after my retirement, I visited every village in Kent between 2000 and 2008, paying particular attention to the parish churches, armed with the Pesner guides that some of you may know about, and taking notes and photographs. With, I think Ivan must have visited something like 600 villages, because in his day Kent extended beyond the M25. I only did modern Kent, which is this side of the M25. So instead of 600 villages, only 350 villages I visited, with over 2,000 photographs. So finding a few to show you this evening has been rather difficult, and I've whittled them down to around 50 or so tonight, with examples of rare, unusual, interesting or good examples of church features, but excluding, obviously for lack of time, the architecture and some other things. So I hope you like it. What I've done, rather than show you this church, that church, the other church, I've grouped them into like examples, as it were. So things hanging on walls first, and then things standing up second, and things floating from the ceiling third, sort of thing, wherever they may be found in the churches. And we're going to start with a few windows. This is an example of an early Anglo-Saxon window at Worms Hill. And of course, Anglo-Saxon windows are quite rare, but they're distinctive usually by the thickness of the walls and the way the walls get splayed out, so that although the window with their technology had to be relatively small, it reflects more light as the opening gets wider inside. Can you hear me, by the way?
Yeah.
Everybody can hear me. Now this is at Barney. It's a triangle of Norman east windows over the altar. This is an unusual survivor from later modernisations of many churches. Most of the churches you go into these days, medieval churches, had large windows at the east end above the altar. But here we have a very attractive survival with small Norman east windows. And also at Barney, Barney's just outside Maidstone, by the way, you've got a very attractive Norman window in the porch. Rather different. This is at Speldhurst, and the glory of Speldhurst are the windows of 6 angels by the Victorian designer William Morris. So that's enough of windows. We move on to hatchments. These are at Otford, near Sevenoak. What are hatchments? They're lozenge-shaped heraldic paintings originally displayed over the front door of a dead person, portraying his coat of arms. And after burial, they were hung on the church wall until a memorial or tomb was erected. But many were never removed from the church wall, and so they survive to this day, hanging on church walls. This custom started around 1700. Here's a close-up of one at Iton. Sorry about the camera reflection there. So moving on from hatchments, what else do we have hanging on walls? We have coats of arms. Royal coats of arms.